Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is HD StarCraft, and tonight I will be bringing you guys set 2 from the Heart of the Swarm custom game tournament out in Europe. And so far, this tournament has been absolutely amazing. The first set was between Bly and Koss. If you guys haven't seen it yet, it's on my YouTube channel. It's the video prior to this one. And definitely check it out because you guys will probably want to stay up to date to see who is going to get up to the top here of this $500 tournament. Now, granted, it's not a lot of money or anything like that, but it's really cool to be able to see the top players competing in a game mode that is soon going to be available to all of us in the public. You know, Blizzard has already made it known that they are going to release the beta in a very short amount of time. Of course, Blizzard soon can, of course, mean from now until the end of life. But, you know, I think I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt here, and I think that the beta is going to be out very soon. By the way, guys, I will be making StarCraft 2 Heart of the Swarm beta videos just like I did in Wings of Liberty. And, of course, I'll be giving out beta keys when I get a chance as well. So please do stay tuned. And, you know, you guys will find out what happens if you guys can get a key or not. At the very least, you guys will be able to watch some awesome content. Now, this is going to be set 2, and it's going to be between Roxkiss Fraer. I think it's Fraer. I'm going to go ahead and just pronounce it Fraer. And he is from Ukraine, another Ukrainian player, and he is Protoss. Green Protoss down in the bottom right-hand corner of Ohana. Over in the top left-hand corner, we have Bratok. He is going to be the Yellow Terran. And this should be a pretty good game, man. TVP casted one of these already between Dopa and Pain User. And that one was pretty cool. We got to see some mech units coming out from the Terran side. And I wonder if Bratok is going to go ahead and follow that same path that Pain User did. And, you know, to me, it makes a lot of sense to go for a mech-based play. Whoa! Trying to throw down that Rex there, and it will come down. But to me, it makes a lot of sense to go for a mech-based play against Protoss now because, you know, the Widow Mine's so deadly effective against Protoss units. The Warhound, especially, it comes with an ability that every 6 seconds lets it do another like 30-something damage to mechanicals. So it, to me, makes so much sense to go for the Warhound. And, you know, it's like having an expansion pack of cards. You know, you play Magic the Gathering, a new expansion set comes out, and you don't use the new expansion set. That wouldn't make much sense. So, you know, especially when it says these new abilities are designed to beat this race. So, I think Bratok is probably going to try to go for mech here, but I can't say for sure. He has gone CC first, which is quite a bit bold, but not totally unorthodox. We do have Fraer here going for Nexus after Gateway and Core. No, actually, excuse me, after Gateway, but not before Core. Excuse me, not after Core. So, not a super late expand, and I think what Fraer was planning to do was to get the Nexus down after the Cybernetics Core had started, but when he scouted the CC first, he said, well, I'm probably going to have to switch it up a little bit because I don't want to fall behind in economy. And so he is going to go for that Nexus, and Chrono boosting out the Mothership Core right now. And this is really one of those abilities, one of those units that you absolutely need in play at all times as Protoss. It's almost as essential as Warp Gate because it gives you the ability to, as of this version of the custom game, it can energize the Nexus that it's on, which means that any Nexus that it's on gets infinite Chrono Boost energy, and for the early game, that is so vital. And by the way, guys, it is considered a unit. For those of you guys who are wondering, is it a structure unit? It's actually a unit because I was trying this funny strategy that I just kind of cooked up wildly in my head, and I kind of dropped some infestors in the enemy Protoss base and neuroparasited it. Neuroparasited the Mothership Core, then used recall to recall all my units in his base. So it is considered a unit. Unfortunately, that strategy didn't work out too well because, well, let's just say if you're going to bring an infestor in with Overlord drops, why not just drop the units in the first place, right? So, anyways, it does look like we have a factory coming. In fact, a second factory on the way. So Bratok is going to go for a mech-based play. And no surprise there. Like I said, you know, it makes so much sense against Protoss now to go for the Battle Hellions, the Widow Mines, the Warhounds, and even Siege Tanks to help back you up from afar as well. And where it all kind of makes sense, where the glue kind of sticks together, I think, is the Battle Hellion. Without a Battle Hellion, Charge Lots and, you know, their supporting cast of Archons would just demolish your mech army. You know, Warhounds don't work against that, Siege Tanks don't work so great against Charge Lots. But with the Battle Hellion, you can hold the line against an impending charge of Zealots. So it's something that you can hold off with that unit. And a couple of Widow Mines now burrowing down. What, that Zealot's going to die for sure. And oh, very nice play by Bratok. Didn't want to waste the Widow Mine on the Zealot, so he brought out his Hellions, but there we go, nice micro. Brings it to the back, and now a sentry comes in. That sentry walks into the wrong neighborhood, and now Bratok is just going to kill it off. No point really waiting for the Widow Mine to detonate. But that was, you know, the sentry just kind of walked up in the wrong neighborhood right there, man. He went into the ghetto. He was a high-class citizen, and that was not where you want to be as a sentry, man. You're born of nobility. So, well, Fraer now is going to have to be very careful with his rally. I don't know why that guy, you know, went there. That didn't make any sense to me at all. Right now, he is using the Mothership Core, I think? No, hasn't really used Energize yet. Doesn't see a need to so far because his Chrono Boost or his Nexus still have max energy, or at least have some energy to play around with. And Fraer now moving out with an Observer. This is actually so important. When you see the Terran player going for Widow Mines, you must get a Robotics and Observer out. Otherwise, you can't move out across the map. Very similar to Brood War, where you needed to get the Observatory to support your Dragoons. Otherwise, you can't move out or you're going to die to mines. So, very smart play right here to get the Observer. And, you know, most Protoss typically get the obs anyways, but it's made even more important so by the use of the new Terran unit, the Widow Mine. And looks like we have a couple of force fields coming down on the high ground. Fraer doing a good job of holding off this attack, and not too sure why Bratok decided to run up the ramp. Maybe just emboldened a little bit with these Widow Mines, but you know, they're good. They're much better in a defensive posture, I think, than they are in an offensive position, because you know, you have to run them up, you have to burrow them down. It's much better to really just have them spread out across the map, spread out on your side, than to try to make some crazy attack with them. So that was pretty much halted. Very well done by the Protoss player, and you know, we'll see what happens here. It looks like Bratok has a supply depot landed down at the potential third, but 3 Stalkers are here and they'll be able to take that down. Surprising he let the supply depot finish. Usually Terrans just build it up and then, you know, cancel it, you know, in its unconstructed phase, but maybe Bratok wasn't paying attention and he ended up letting it die. Now incorporating the Warhounds into his army, great idea, and transitioning all of his Hellions into Battle Hellions as well, and they have so much more health, 135. Of course, they sacrifice move speed for that benefit, but it's okay, man. It's all gravy when they have all that extra HP. And now we have a War Prism coming in. Fraer coming in with 2 Zealots and an Immortal. You can also deploy the War Prism to warp in reinforcements. A bunch of Battle Aliens coming back home. And the Battle Aliens should be able to clean up. But how many SCVs have gone down so far? 9 workers already to these 2 Zealots. My goodness. And the total worker count right now, 44 to 55. A nice play by Fraer to get up inside Bradok's main base. And, you know, do a little bit of damage. Get in there and see what he could do. And certainly was, you know, a cost-effective means of doing damage. Only 2 Zealots that died. And he killed off about 9 workers. So, not too shabby, but this is the real threat, I think, for Protoss. Now, Terrans, when they go mech, they have a way to stand toe-to-toe with the massive Protoss army, because mech has so much more firepower, so much more AoE and splash than Bio does. So now the question is, will Fraer be able to handle this attack? In fact, SCV is being pulled off the line to repair the Battle Hellions and the Warhounds. Force fields coming down right now. Great force fields by Fraer, and he's going to have to use his Colossus to laser down these units, but he doesn't have thermal lances yet. Excuse me, no, he does. And trying to keep at a distance. Widow Mine's getting detonated as well. And now the Colossus is going to go pull back because there isn't enough units on the ground to protect them. And Bratok is just going to make a push up here with Battle Hellions and Warhounds. And the Colossus trying to get up to the high ground to do what they can. They've got to stay away from those Warhounds, man. Comsat goes down to give the Warhounds extra vision. A 3rd Colossus coming out, oh so dangerous. And now the Battle Hellions can go to work inside the mineral fields. This is close. This is close. Bratok needs to roast up as many probes as he can, trying to do as much damage as possible. Colossus microing away from the deadly Warhound, and the probes! Oh my goodness! And it looks like they are just going to be able to get away. Not too many of them dying off, but a good exchange by Bratok. Gets up in there, does a ton of damage, but was it enough? Was it enough? He did not kill off the Colossus, I don't think. All three are still alive, and that poses a significant threat. He needs to get Warhounds on the field to counter that. An Observer moving out across to spot the movement of troops. And right now, it looks like Bratok going to go for a second wave, but I don't know if he has enough firepower to deal with 4 Colossus! Despite the Battle Hounds being a much stronger variant of their car version, there's the GG, and Bratok realizes that he can't really hang on. He didn't kill off the Colossus, and he didn't do enough economic damage with his Hellions. So, GG, first game going to Fraer. And, you know, without much further ado, not much to say, we're going to go on to game 2 and find out who goes to the semifinals from here on out. We'll see. This is HD StarCraft, signing out.